What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bold Business. I'm your host, Philip Michael, and let's get right to this week's trends. And of course, trend number one, some of the biggest news of the week. Lil Nas X put out a song, a music video, and a sneaker that got a lot of people upset. In Lil Nas's new video, he's seen sliding down a stripper pole into hell and giving the devil a lap dance before killing him. Well, this, of course, angered religious people who called it Satan worship. So doubling down, Lil Nas revealed that he was collaborating with the art collective MSCHF to create a Satan shoe. They're actually a limited edition customized Nike Air Maxes. They only made, you guessed it, 666 pairs, and each pair has 66 cc's of human blood in them. Now, Nike is suing MSCHF for using their logo on this controversial shoe, and a judge ordered MSCHF not to ship any of the shoes despite being sold out in 1 minute. Now, despite this setback, Lil Nas is about to hit #1 on Billboard, and the video has over 66 million views on YouTube. You see that? 66 million views? All right, so obviously, there's this one ex-pro wrestling executive named Eric Bischoff. He wrote a bestseller that said, it was titled, "Controversy Creates Cash." And this is a perfect manifestation of just that. You know, it's a very unique, innovative marketing campaign. It gets people riled up. And once you get people emotionally invested and you create like this division, become polarizing, that typically equals numbers. And as you can see, no matter how you feel about it, their sole objective is to get attention and therefore sales and, you know, stuff to the bottom line. They succeeded. What happens next? Who knows? But 66 million though? That is just too much of a coincidence as it is. But, you know, shout out to them for making the money, but I don't know if they should be making people upset. Who knows? They're making money. Anyway, trend number two. Apple just invested in United Masters, a music distribution company disrupting the music industry. Former record label executive Steve Stout started the company in 2017. They're capitalizing on the growing market of unsigned musicians. So the company distributes an artist's music to all the major streaming platforms, and they take a fee instead of taking ownership of the person's work. Now, a lot of huge artists have been speaking out about this aspect of the industry lately. Taylor Swift is even re-recording her first 6 albums because she doesn't own those titles, and she's trying to take that power back. Apple, of course, as we all know, has one of the biggest music streaming platforms in the world, and they're not only invested in 2017, but are contributing again. So what could this mean for the music industry and traditional labels? Well, let's see. Of course, way back in the day, from my younger days, the music group TLC, they had #1 hit records, and they came out there and they had no money. And people go, wait a minute, why are you guys so bad with money since you got #1 hit records and you're going broke? Well, the fact of the matter is these music industry contracts were so lopsided. They only favored the record label and not so much the artist. And in recent years, there's been a lot of talk about people owning their masters, meaning the original recording, so that they can get a bigger piece of the slice. Now, one of the most famous musicians to really start this trend was Michael Jackson back in the day. He actually not only owned his own music, he owned half of Sony's catalog, meaning it's the largest music catalog in the entire world. He owned half of that, becoming a billionaire in the process. So there's obviously a lot of money there, and a lot of artists are realizing that the machine that you need in order to blow somebody up, as it is, make someone famous, get them out to the most amount of people as possible, that no longer exists because you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you have all these platforms, SoundCloud, of course, where people can reach the audience directly. So there's, of course, an adjustment happening in the marketplace, and it's a little less, it's becoming a little more fair. So it's interesting to see business models adjusting to that trend and seeing if they can now collaborate as partners instead of just exploiting these artists. Now, trend number 3. There are 16 states, as of now, with recreational marijuana laws on the books. New York Governor Cuomo finally signed the bill. It's exciting news for entrepreneurs in the space, but it will still be a while before you can open a recreational spot in New York City. For both New York and New Jersey, we probably won't see any real effects until 2022. Now, cannabis, like Bitcoin and/or crypto, is one of those industries where there's a lot of opportunity, but there's also a lot of question marks. Now, whenever there are those variables, of course, you have the upside where you can make a lot of money, whether it's someone who runs a business or someone who invests in those businesses or in the companies that are in the cannabis field. But again, until we have full adoption of these things and it all becomes legalized and we no longer have those variables, is all up in the air, up in smoke as it is, so it is a big move, and it is a big step towards wider adoption of this. But again, there are still some question marks, and the blowback, as it is, remains to be seen. But it definitely is a step in the right direction, just like crypto being adopted by PayPal and the banks. We're starting to see a big change in a big way.